You are blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. That's what Jesus tells us. How can that be? When the bottom has fallen out of our world, when there seems no point in getting out of bed, when we have lost that which was most precious to us, how is it that we can be blessed? When the worst thing that could possibly happen to us happens, what kind of logic can see a blessing in that event? In the year 2020, we have all suffered some kind of loss, whether it's loss of livelihood, loss of freedom of movement, loss of a feeling of security, or that most final of losses, loss of a loved one. In this unprecedented time, all of humanity has been plunged into a period of mourning of undetermined duration. We do not know when our suffering will end. And in the case of the loss of a loved one, perhaps we actually don't want it to end. Life may feel unbearable at times. And yet, here we are, gathered on this day of commemoration for loved ones who are no longer with us. We gather to honor those who have gone on before us and to hold up the goodness of these people we've shared our life with. If you ask people about their loved ones who have passed on, they'll say things like, "Let me tell you how funny my wife was," or "My husband was such a good storyteller. If you heard him start, you would be spellbound." Or "My brother was the most optimistic person I knew." Or "My sister was my lifelong companion, someone I could always talk to." Or "My daughter was so full of life, she had so many plans for the future." Or "My best friend was always there for me. She was such a good listener." When we start to bring up these memories, it's a struggle. It's like eating dark chocolate. There's a bittersweet quality to our remembrances. We loved them so, and yet they're no longer by our side. So where is the blessing for us in this loss? Surely it cannot mean that we are somehow lucky. Let's look a little closer. Well-known poet T.S. Eliot once wrote, "We die with the dying. See, they depart and we go with them." Truly, it often feels as if part of us has died with our loved one. Because the bond is broken, we can lose our bearings and forget who we are. The loss of a member of our inner circle can make us feel as if we are actually dismembered. So finding ways to remember can help us reassemble ourselves, integrating the one we lost into our lives in a new way. No, we cannot pick up the phone or go on that fishing trip or sit down at the dinner table together. But the searching for a way to remember our loved one can open the door to a deeper, richer, spiritual journey. We feel our priorities shift. We spend more time reflecting on the purpose of life and the things that are most important. We start reading about spiritual values. We begin to recognize that many of our former daily concerns pale in the face of this important relationship that we seek to hold on to in some new way. We begin to pray, sinking down into that quiet inner space, more open now than ever before for a sign, a reassurance, a message of comfort or peace. T.S. Eliot continues in the poem I mentioned earlier. We are born with the dead. See, they return and bring us with them. There is mystery here, and comfort, and maybe even a kind of resurrection. When we are at our most broken, it's then that we are the most open to the presence of the life force, our creative source, or simply God. This presence does not coerce, is not judgmental. It witnesses our inner struggles. It feels our inner pain. It can bring us comfort and courage. It can become for us a light in our darkness and a path to new life. None of us seek to become broken, but maybe, just maybe, it is the path we all must take in order to receive this blessing Jesus tells us about. I like the way poet Leonard Cohen says it, and I paraphrase. Leave off reaching for the perfect, unblemished life. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.